Hello friends, this is Sai Fanindra from SQL School, and we are a registered training partner for Microsoft, and we are into trainings, placements, resume support, certifications, and job support activities. Over 12 years of technical expertise exclusively on SQL Server, database development, database administration, MSBI, Microsoft Business Intelligence Development and Consulting Operations. I assure you, complete practical and real-time trainings and job support activities. And this is about myself. My first job at Microsoft as an FTE full-time employee from September 2005 to June 2009, and then with Deloitte and Infosys, and now with SQL Gate, an infrastructure and data hosting company. My life is completely SQLized, and you can rely on our services exclusively the Microsoft SQL Server and the related technologies, either for trainings or certifications or job support activities. And this particular demo session, the demonstration video, is for SQL Server and Transact SQL, simply say Microsoft SQL Developer Program. Come on, we'll be starting right from the very basics. So the agenda is: what is database, why database, what is DBMS, and why to go for Microsoft's SQL Server, the roles and responsibilities for SQL developers, the course details and the curriculum, and having a glance at the type of queries and functions and procedures throughout our course, basic to advanced level training, the type of case studies and the real-time project, and the type of support after the course, and the type of interview questions, and resume guidance activities. Come on, let's start. Well, so here we go. To start with, as we are all very new, let's understand right from the very basics what is data and what is database. And before we proceed with this agenda item, you may have some doubt in mind, like what is this SQL and what SQL developers do. And here is the answer. Just a overview of the job responsibilities for SQL developers. I mean, what exactly SQL developers do in real world. SQL developers plan and design databases, the structures to store data. They plan and design tables, the internal structures or the ingredients of your tables, and their relations. Database contains tables like Excel file contains sheets. Excel file contains sheets. Here database contains tables. Excel file contains sheets to store actual data. Here database contains tables to store actual data. And tables can be related to each other. I mean, they can be linked to each other. And SQL developers design the verification and capacity planning operations. It's more into testing activities. And the SQL developers involved in writing queries for business requirement, SQL developers would be involved in writing queries using joins, subqueries, nested queries, aggregations, and also perform data formatting, changing the shape of your data for reporting requirements, and data transformation activities like transfer of data from one platform to another platform. For example, Excel to SQL, SQL to Excel, etc. or PDF to Excel. So PDF to SQL or SQL back to PDF, import export activities. The SQL developers would be involved in static and dynamic data storage, we say data insertions with validations, conditional and transactional DML activities. Here DML meaning data manipulation language. We'll talk about it in our course with basic SQL activities. For now, remember DML, data manipulation activities, which is more into dealing with data storage, data modifications, and data deletions, audits and trigger activities. Say triggers are like automated inserts or automated modifications or automated deletes. For example, you are given a transaction table in a banking environment. Whenever there is a new transaction, the account balance in the accounts table should be automatically updated. I mean, operations in one table or say one data area in a database should impact some other table, some other data area in the same database or a remote database. We call them triggers that can be performed, coded by SQL developers. SQL developers involved in query tuning and business logic implementation. I mean, what to and what not to, or how to make the system work. The backend activities, backend queries can be performed by these SQL developers. So accordingly, from our SQL Server and T-SQL course, the core SQL Developer course, you can plan for your additional steps in your resume and career planning can be for BI developer, business intelligence development, report developers. You can opt for report development as your next step from this course, or you can opt for data analysts. This SQL Server T-SQL course is also helpful for business analysts, data scientists, and even database testers. With this information, or even SQL database administrators. With this information, at SQL School, yes, we again and again restate that it's completely practical and real time. Every session is very much informative, loaded with self-assessment tasks, and we provide advanced theory material, daily mock interviews every day, and weekly revision classes, including the complete guidance and support chapter wise, concept wise for MCSA certification, Microsoft Solution Associate. And we provide the material and dump as well towards the certifications. And we are pretty sure you would be not only winning the certification, but you also get a better score. And our SQL Server T-SQL course is loaded with 1,000+ interview questions, along with solutions, real-time case studies, real-time project with complete solution, including the scenario-based issues and solutions for go live deployments in real world and cloud deployments with Microsoft Azure and AWS, Amazon Web Services deployments of SQL Server databases. we once again assure you complete practical and real-time trainings. And now, with this information, yes, let's just have a recap of what we did so far for the last few minutes. We understood three things: what SQL developers do in real world, and how this particular SQL Server T-SQL course is beneficial, or who can learn, for whom it is beneficial. Number three, why choose our SQL school. And now, if we get a doubt, like what is this MCSA, or what are the certifications involved in this particular training program? Well, on my screen, SQL Server Transact SQL Developer, T-SQL has got two certifications, 7761 certification and 7762 certifications, one for core design and development and the other one is for query writing and programming. In this course, we provide complete equal support for both certifications. Now, with this information, the type of course material includes chapter-wise information, chapter-wise material, and chapter-wise FAQs, case studies. For example, one sample case study on my screen. A series of 3 case studies before we take you to the implementation of a real-time project. Like for example, an online Medicare database system with some sample data, and you are requested to design a database, a platform to store the data with a different technical terms, like for example, getting the design of a database that involves files, file groups, and other activities. Then relations, like implementation of relations, constraints and keys. So chapter 4 and 5 would be involved with a case study. Same way for the other chapters, join, subqueries, nested queries, views and functions, and queries. With subqueries, we got the second case study, which is completely scenario based, and it looks something like this. The second case study, the same database system continued with a different requirement, like queries and solutions. We provide you the queries, you try for the solutions and then verify with our solutions. That's how it takes. And in general, these type of case studies would be available or helpful even for online interviews also. Back to my course. With this information of queries, we'll also go for programming activities. Like for example, here it is, stored procedures with query tuning activities, simple to complex procedures for automatic data validations, triggers and linked servers, and transactions with isolation levels. And we do have one-to-one mock interview and the real-time project activities during the course. And the real-time project is for banking environment. If you wish, we can also provide you a second project once you complete the first project. At least 20% of the project solution the participant is expected to complete, so that remaining 80% of the complete project solution and explanation to be provided by me. And we promise you on the second project if you wanted to. And the project work would be in this way: right from the start the design of the database to creating schemas and relations, and right from the activities with respect to data type selection. Data type is one of the influencing factor for a table design, and we'll be understanding how to work with synonyms, joins and views, how to work with joins and views with log hints to address possible query blocking, triggers on views with transactions, and we will be understanding big and small transactions and trigger programs. We'll be understanding about stored procedures on tables and views both. Again, simple procedures to complex procedures with all possible activities, and test data, providing the common test data for this banking project solution, complete end-to-end solution with explanation to be provided, and queries. Coming to the queries, yes, we have again simple to basic to advanced level queries, something like this. This is one of the query for banking deposits and withdrawals and their report in an Excel sheet. So we will be understanding wherever required, we will be understanding the integration activities or communication from SQL Server to outside world, like SQL Server to Excel or Doc to SQL Server, etc. One thing, friends, we know your requirements. We came to know about your requirements with more than 12 years of service in this training field. Since my first job at Microsoft MSIT team as an FTE, full-time employee, I started to provide KT sessions, knowledge transfer sessions, and also involved with good number of consultancies across India, US, UK, and Australia, and came to know about the job requirements and always ensure I keep myself up to date. So keeping in mind about your job requirements, we have got a bunch of project oriented questions, like explain the design of the project or the role or the precautions, challenges, or what and what not, all the activities. Yes, we do provide project wise interview questions along with solutions, explanations that would be very much helpful for your resume and interview cracking, or just to crack your interview. With this information, back to my again the type of course material. In addition to the real-time project and self-assessments, we do have MCSA 7761, 7762 examinations in our course. Now, with this information, yes, just to get a quick recap of what we have so far. Yes, we understood what SQL developers do in real world, advantages or benefits of SQL Server T-SQL, why you choose us, certification and certification numbers, complete guidance in our course, and the type of course material, because these would be the common FAQs, frequently asked questions, for whatever course we generally offer. With this information, let's go a bit technical as per our agenda now. As per our agenda, let's go a bit technical. Yes. You may ask me, hey Sai, you're talking about database, but what exactly database is? Who is going to use it? Good question on my screen. What is data? Raw facts. or information. Raw facts or information stored in files like text files, Excel files, PDF, doc files. These type of files used to store this raw fact or information in the past, in olden days. Then came, of course, they are still available, but there are some issues with respect to this particular traditional data store with respect to security, storage capacity, and multi-user access. To address these limitations, we have database. What is database now? Yes, a platform to store any type of data, any amount of data for easy, faster access. I repeat, database a platform to store any type of data, any amount of data for easy, faster access. And where to store this database? We say DBMS, Database Management System, DBMS. It is a program. One such software, one such DBMS is SQL Server. Now, yes, from Microsoft, SQL Server from Microsoft. And why SQL Server? Cheaper, faster and easy to use, easy tools for integration, data communication, and free technical support and free updates from Microsoft and free BI, free business intelligence tools. And once we go into SQL Server, we see different components. It's as if like MS Office installation. Once you install MS Office, we get MS Word, MS PowerPoint, MS Access, MS Outlook, etc. Same way with SQL Server, we have database engine, a component for real-time data storage, analysis services, a component for big data analytics and reporting and forecasts. So one for real-time storage, one for big data analytics and forecasts. Report, to report 1 and 2, both real-time or online transaction data as well as big data, we have reporting services. Integration services. Integration services is mainly used for the purpose of data import, data export, and integration, communication between different platforms. Excel to SQL, SQL to Excel. Excel to SQL Server, SQL Server to Excel. The data can be communicated easily with integration services. And we got data quality services to ensure the correctness, validity of data from or within 1 and 2, the real-time database engine and analytical platform analysis services. And we got data science components from SQL Server 2017 that includes Python, machine learning, R language, R programming, etc. With this information, so SQL Server can be broadcasted. SQL Server can be thought in this way. A server or SQL Server is a collection of databases. Yes, thousands of databases can be residing inside a single server. Now, with this information, there are different versions of SQL Server in the market. Yes, right from SQL Server 1.0, right from SQL Server 1.0 or say for example 1.0. You got different versions out there, and the latest version is 2017 SQL Server as on date. In our course, we will be taking 2016-2017 for starters and freshers, and participants proceeding for experience. For them, we need to have information on migrations and database upgradations, so they involve in older versions and higher versions, last 4 editions. I repeat, participants who are very new to IT, they would be involved in working on the lab sessions would be on 2016-2017. The participants having experience would be having lab sessions and project work implementation on 2012, 14, 16, 17, 4 different versions. And of course, we have got online lab for all these versions. And there are different editions or flavors of SQL Server in the market. We have Data Center Edition, Enterprise Edition, Evaluation, Standard, Developer, BI, Web, Workgroup, Express, and Mobile editions. Top to bottom, the cost decreases, and in fact it is free for Express edition. Cost decreases, so the quality, so the features, they also decrease. And more you invest, better quality we get, as usual, always, in general. In our course, we'll be taking Enterprise Edition and Enterprise Evaluation Edition for our course. Now, with this information, then how to do the practice part? I said the online lab is available. Yes. As far as the lab is concerned, your computer should have a Windows or Linux or Mac or Ubuntu or Docker platform, because you would be installing a Windows based SSMS or non-Windows based SQL Ops. In fact, SQL Ops is a tool that can be used to work with SQL Server connections from any operating system, Windows or non-Windows. So depending on your operating system, you would be installing one of these tools. So any OS is fine, any configuration is fine. We recommend or we request you to have minimum 4 GB RAM, 4 gig RAM, 4 gig memory, it's okay. If you have 8 gig memory, that's really good. And using these tools, you would be connecting to our 24/7 live online server. And by default, the username password would be accessible for 6 months. And if required, we can surely extend that 6 months expiry time. That's not a big deal. We can do it. With this information about the system and lab requirements, towards the registration for this course, we have total of 3 different plans. Plan A, 3.5 weeks, Monday to Saturday, weekly 6 days, and 3.5 weeks course duration. That includes practical real-time training with resume and placements, including the banking project, specification, solution explanation, and the takeaways, possible interview questions and answers from both technical perspective, concept wise, as well as from the project perspective for your resume. If you are going for plan B, you additionally get access to our live interactive sessions on performance tuning, query tuning operations, and the complete guidance to first certification of SQL Server T-SQL MCSA, Microsoft certification for 7761. If in case you are going for plan C, you additionally have 7762, the second certification course, PowerShell activities for SQL Server database developers, and Azure SQL database, a cloud environment, also required for the second certification. And accordingly, we have the course fee, as you see on our website, and it is subjected to change. So the latest course fee also available on our website sqlschool.com/ or simply say sqlschool.com. And once you go to sqlschool.com, there you see the list of all the courses that we offer or I offer, like SQL Server, SQL DBA, MSBA, Azure SQL, and Performance Tuning, Power BI, and MCSA. If you are going with SQL Server, you get MCSA automatically and Azure SQL also automatically. I repeat, if you are going with SQL Server T-SQL Plan C, you have the complete registration automatically if you are Azure SQL and MCSA based on the plan you opt for. Now, with this information, back to my plans again. So you have plan A, B, C. You can always register for one plan, and once you like our service, you can upgrade to the next plan. And you can also have the option of doing one plan sessions now at this month or the next month, and then take some break and go for the remaining plan by registering for the remaining course some other point of time in future. You can do it. We are very much flexible in this registration area as well as support areas. And our support continues even after the course. With this information, once again, we assure you complete practical real-world trainings towards certifications, mock interviews, resume guidance and support, and placement services. And with this, once again, we know the value of your time. We know the value of your money you invest in your training services. So we are very serious with our services. We are pretty sure we will win your references after your training program with our SQL school. Yes, 90% of our participants in our courses would be purely from references, and we love it. Yes, friends, and our support even after the course for sure. And we operate 24/7. And I would be involved myself again, Sai Fanindra. I would be involved myself would be involved in the trainings pertaining to the left side of the courses listed over here. Just a moment. Yes, on my screen. I would be involved in Microsoft courses, including SQL Server, SQL DB, MSBI, Power BI, Azure Development, Azure DBA, and PowerShell. And we got a pool of enthusiastic certified trainers for Oracle courses, including data science courses, Hadoop, machine learning, Python, and R language. And we operate 24/7, 365 days, and you are welcome to reach us any point of time to our Indian toll-free number or USA toll-free number. With this, I'll stop for today, and we look forward for your course registration or the live free demo registration. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Bye bye.